Three, two, one, go. You are live. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday. And my TV, I forgot to mute. Sorry about that.
It's usually me. That's why I was like,
No, that one's on me. It's just me and Toast today. Beaver's in Pittsburgh. Sean Redden's on the beach. Scoops with his kids. Chris is working all day. So I went down the list. No one can fill in. It's just the two of us, which is good. It's Saturday. We all got places to go. I know if you're in the Jersey area, I think I'm heading over to Monmouth Park to Caesars. Gonna play some bets today, watch some baseball and some UFC and stuff. So if you're in New Jersey,
or something.
What's up?
Caesar's like the casino.
Yeah, Caesars bought Monmouth Park, the horse racetrack, right 5 minutes from my house. So I have a sports book right down the street.
Nice.
All right, and due to request, I brought back the intro. So let's hit it.
Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
All right. We're back. All right. So, without any further ado, let's get it started here. Are the comments coming in?
Yep.
No, we're not going backwards. I'm sorry. We're starting right here. I had the wrong game up. First game that we're starting with the Brewers at the Red Sox, which starts in 2 hours. So, Brewers at Red Sox, and I'll start us off here. Let me scroll up in my notes. I mean, number one, let me start off by saying, how can we bet on Nick Pivetta right now after 4 consecutive bad starts? 4. And I know some people are like, yo, Sauce, Pivetta went 5 2/3 and only allowed 1 run in his last start. Yeah, but he let up 7 hits and 3 walks. And that's an extreme number of hits and walks to let up in less than 6 innings. That's insane. It's terrible. But at the same time, if we're going to talk about terrible pitching, look no further than Eric Lauer starting for the Brewers on the road. I mean, this dude has struggled all season, especially on the road. Eric Lauer's numbers in July are also a little deceiving because you could look and be like, yo, Eric Lauer's got a 3.22 ERA this month. He's pitching well. But trust me, that's not the case. He pitched against the Cubs, Pirates, and Rockies all at home. And the Rockies and Pirates both hit him up. Like, if someone lets up 9 hits and only 2 earned runs, yeah, you could twist that into, hey, he's getting the outs when it matters. Or you can look at it and be like, dude got lucky. If you're giving up 9 hits, or eventually you're going to give up more than 2 runs. So Eric Lauer has not been pitching well. Don't believe the hype. So this one for me comes down to, do I trust Pivetta to have a bounce back start or Eric Lauer to have a rare good start on the road? And that's an easy one for me. I trust Pivetta. I'm splitting my money up between the first 5 and the full game money line because the Boston bullpen does scare the shit out of me. But my bets are, for this game, Boston money line. That's at minus 110. And I'll put 0.5 on that. Boston first 5 money line. That's at minus 117. At least it was about an hour ago. And I'm putting a half unit on that as well. Toast, I know you're on the same side as me in this one. Did you play the first 5 as well, or just the full game?
Just the full game, and and I'm doing it for 0.75 units. And the reason that I do that is I do have a little bit of respect for Lauer, but like you said, I just can't get behind him on the road. Also, Boston was in the game, the whole game last night, until the 9th inning when it blew up. So obviously you're going to take a look at their bullpen. But if you take a look at the guys that they used last night, Bellows a rookie, Brazier sucks, and Sakaarma, or however so he's a bum. Okay, that's all you need to know. The guys that are pitching tonight or that didn't pitch last night, Dykman, Houck, Whitlock, all those guys are immensely better than the guys that they used last night. I understand that Boston hasn't looked great as far as wins and losses, but again, it was a bullpen blow up last night. That was a coin flip game. Same thing, they won before against Cleveland, the night before, And then previous to that, again, another loss, but again, it was 6-7. So Boston has been in all of these games. So I think at a pick-em price with some of that Fenway magic, hopefully they don't wear the yellow uniforms, but either way, I'm on Boston tonight.
Those uniforms are disgusting. I'm surprised that you didn't hit the first 5 with me with Pivetta against Lauer. Surprised. Beaver is in Pittsburgh with his friends doing the casino. He's actually going to be at the Pirates-Phillies game today. So if you turn that game on, maybe catch a glimpse of Beaver in the stands.
He's got a big SGP with Mitch Keller strikeouts.
I saw that. Yeah, it's on his Twitter. If you want to see
Yeah.
Beaver's Pirates-Phillies same-game parlay, it's a big one. All right, so let's cruise on to the next game, which is Mets at Marlins. And let me just delete these here. I'm sorry, the show isn't set up for 2, so I have to delete them one at a time like that. Toast, start us off here, Mets game.
I'm just going to keep on riding the Mets here at -1.5, at -115. I can't really say I know a lot about Neidert, but what I do know is the Mets are kind of rolling right now. And after what they did to Sandy yesterday, I have a hard time believing that they don't do the same here today. I didn't take a look at their team total, but if it's at 4.5 or anything like that, I know a lot of people like playing team totals. If it's anywhere around that number, -130 or so, I'd play that too. But for the show purposes, Mets -1.5 for me.
Out of curiosity, I'm pulling it up. Mets team total at 4.5, over 4.5, so at -115. Ooh, that's a little nice. So how much did you bet on that?
0.75.
0.75 units. All right, so I'm on the Mets run line as well. Basically mirror everything you just said. If the Mets bats are coming back, there's going to be very few instances where I fade this team. I will go just a full unit on the run line. I think that team total over 4.5 does look nice. Not going to add it for the show purposes though. Let me just make sure, pull up my notes, make sure Toast said everything I have written down. The guy pitching for the Marlins' name is Nick Neidert. He doesn't have much MLB experience. To ask him to come up from the minors to throw his first major league pitch this year against this Mets lineup while they're trending, it's a tall order. That's a tall order.
They're
good
trending. And Polar Bear was like 0 for 4 or 1 for 4 last night. He didn't look good. I expect him to have a much better game today as well.
I mean, honestly, I think the best Met right now is Starling Marte. That dude is like,
Oh my God.
he's the man. All right, so we're both on the Mets. So far, so good. 2 games down, and we both agree. Now, it's going to get worse. We had a brief phone call. We disagree on like 3 or 4 today, so we'll get there. Let me delete the picks. Next game. Oh, I already know we disagree here. I'll go first. So, I'm on the same exact bets that I did yesterday. Let me copy and paste them. So, I'm on Cincinnati full game and Cincinnati first 5. I'm going to play them both at a half unit. I'm not going to go crazy with it. Basically, to summarize my thoughts here, I've been waiting to fade Dean Kramer. His numbers have fallen off a cliff. This guy rode the roller coaster up to the top when the Orioles got hot. He had a 1.29 ERA in June. So the Orioles were getting hot. Here comes this dude, D. Kramer, out of nowhere, throwing ace-like outings. And everyone's gassing this dude up. And now no one has really noticed that he has fallen off a cliff. I know Toast is going to come in here and say when he pitched against Tampa Bay and the Yankees, and that's true. But this is a significant drop here in his 4 starts, or does he have 5? No, 4 starts in July. His ERA is 5.68. I don't know if teams got some film on this kid, or these guys are just getting his timing down. Who knows? But I'm completely comfortable fading him here. By the way, Tyler Mahle pitching for the Reds today. Now, usually you fade Tyler Mahle at home in Cincinnati. That's been the story for him this year and last year. But he missed a few weeks, comes back, and throws a great game last week at home against a really good Cardinals lineup. So he's restored some of my faith in the Tyler Mahle brand. And I'm not saying I fully trust him, but I definitely like him more than I like Dean Kramer right now. I'm on the Reds first 5 and full game. Toast, tell us why we should bet Baltimore.
Well, just to go back, he did pitch well against St. Louis, you're right. And then the last 4, he lost. So, at home. So again, Dean Kramer on the road for me. I understand that he didn't look that great against New York and Tampa Bay, but the bottom line is in his last 4 road starts, they're 3-1, and he has a 1.66 ERA. I also think that Baltimore has a much better bullpen, as we saw last night. And again, that's just a rule that we've always lived by. You fade Tyler Mahle at home. Baltimore money line for 0.75 units.
There you go. All right, there's one more on the opposite side of, and I'm confident. I think I'm going to get the W here. So let's clear these out. And next game coming, Mariners at Astros is next, and I'm on the dogs, and I have to copy and paste my bets because there's 3 of them. So I'm going with Seattle money line at 0.5 units, Seattle plus 1.5 at 0.5 units, and Seattle first 5 plus a half run at 0.5 units. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fade Houston after they cash for me twice in a row. Number one reason, Chris Flexen is pitching. Seattle and Flexen have a nice little streak going. I believe they've won 6. They've won 6 straight Chris Flexen starts. So love a little streak like that. Number 2, I don't think Chris Flexen fears the Astros lineup at all. This will be the 5th time he's pitched against Houston. And the Astros still really haven't figured his stuff out. I mean, Seattle is 1-3 in those 4 games that Flexen started against. Seattle's 1-3 in those 4 games against the Astros where Flexen started. But Chris Flexen has a 2.55 ERA in those games. Houston beat them in other ways. They did not get to Flexen. Pretty much in all 4 starts, they really didn't get to Flexen. Normally, this would be a spot where I'd be like, oh my God, the Houston Astros lineup seeing a dude for the 5th time. But Flexen just has the edge on these guys. I'm down to put my money against Houston here. And by the way, Framber Valdez pitching for the Astros. The Mariners just saw him like 5 or 6 days ago, and Seattle got to him. I mean, they didn't kill him, but they got to him. The Astros ended up winning the game. I think it was 8-5, but Seattle got to Valdez. So I think the Mariners, facing a sweep, are coming into this game with a decent amount of confidence. I'm on Seattle 3 ways.
I could not agree more. Same first 2 bets, but my second bet is going to be Seattle first 5 team total over 1.5 at plus 100. Look, Flexen is the guy that I've been riding. And then let's just take a look at his last start inside that juice box. 7 innings, 6 strikeouts, only 1 run. Flexen is a guy that runs off of momentum. He makes faces, he yells, he screams. It's just what he does. But like Saw said, he is not intimidated by this Astros lineup in any way at all. I think that this is a very, very big number, and it's kind of hard too much to pass up. And keep in mind, guys, Framber Valdez is my guy. I've been on the Framber Valdez, Sandy Alcantara train for about 3 years now. So just saying, that's how much I like this game and how much, I think Chris Flexen has been pitching.
Did I type your bets correctly on the screen?
Yes.
All right, cool. So both of us, 3 bets, all 3 of them on Seattle for both of us.
Keep in mind, really quickly, just keep in mind, I know that we've been on Houston, but when Houston played Seattle in Seattle, they didn't have Julio Rodriguez for most of that time, too. So it's a little bit different. Seattle got going last night in the 9th inning. Let's see what happens today. It's a big, big price.
Yeah, it is with Flexens on the mound. That's the kicker. All right. Next game is Oakland at Chicago. Toast, why don't you start us off here?
So I actually paired the White Sox and the Braves in a parlay at, I think it's plus 131. I don't really love the White Sox today, but at the same time, I just can't get behind Paul Blackburn right now. I I know that Oakland has been scoring some runs and whatnot, but at the same time, I mean, if you take a look at Paul Blackburn and what he's done recently, he's just been getting lit up. Home, on the road, it doesn't matter. I mean, he actually pitched pretty well against Seattle, but that's been pretty much it. And then Johnny Cueto for Chicago, for as much as Sauce is going to have to say about it when he does his little soliloquy, he's been nothing but solid for them. So, again, the White Sox usually I didn't like them yesterday. We were on Oakland. I didn't like the spot for them yesterday. I like the spot much more for them today.
All right.
Oh,
so what? Half unit. All right. So, if I was stranded on a deserted island, right, and someone like rows a boat up, or like a steamboat, someone brings a boat to shore, and was like, "Yo, Kyle, I can get you off this island, but first you need to place a bet on Johnny Cueto." I would remain on the island happily knowing I made the right decision. This dude absolutely sucks. I'll never bet him, ever. I'm on Oakland first 5 money line and Oakland full game money line half a unit each. All right. Next game is... God, Cueto sucks. It's like such a piece of shit. We're Phillies at Pirates. I'll go first. I kind of have a cop-out bet here. So Ranger Suarez is pitching for the Phillies, and dude is 6-1 this year on the road. Just an absolute road warrior. Although I like Mitch Keller, he's yet to record a single win at home in Pittsburgh this entire season. And that's not even to say that I think the Phillies have a pitching advantage, because I do like Mitch Keller. That's Prop Beaver's boy. I actually think this is a good start for a good spot for Mitch Keller too, because he's coming off a start at home where he let up 3 runs to the Marlins, and it wasn't like he got shelled spot, but at home against the Marlins is a spot where pitchers really can rack up some good numbers. So I think he has a good bounce back start, and I think Ranger Suarez completely handles the Pittsburgh Pirate lineup like most pitchers do. So I think, in my opinion, the best bet in this game is the under 7.5 at -105, and I'm going to put a full unit on it. I really like the under here.
I'm all over the same thing as you. Give me the under for 0.75 units at 7.5, and I'm also going to take the Phillies money line at -150 for another 0.75 units, just because of how good Ranger Suarez has been on the road this year. And just to go to that under, Phillies 24th in Major League Baseball against right-handers over the last 45 days, while the Pirates ranked 26th against lefties in that same span. Bottom 5 lineups, under all day. I'll take the better pitcher with, I think, the better lineup as well.
Yeah, I had the Phillies money line written down originally too, and ended up taking it off because, I do like Mitch Keller, so there was a little bit of a, but yeah, we're both on the under. Next game coming. Next game is Cardinals at Nationals. Toast, you want to start us off here?
Yeah, Cardinals like the Dodgers for me, guys. I just ride this team into the oblivion. Cardinals on the money line, -145 for a full unit, and then Cardinals -1.5 at +110 for a half a unit. Dakota Hudson coming off of a bad start with rested Cardinals. I'm all over that. I love it.
I did the same exact thing, but I did 0.75 on the money line instead of a full unit. Let's just make sure there's nothing in the notes that I think I should say. All right, the only hesitation I have here is I truly do think the Nationals probably have the starting pitching advantage here. I'd take Fedde at home over Dakota Hudson on the road. But that's where you can stop. You can stop right there as far as advantages for the Nationals, because every other aspect of this baseball game leans towards the Cardinals. I mean, do you even care that the Nationals have the starting pitching lineup? Seriously. Like, what are they going to do with it? All right, throw a bad starter out there against the Nationals. What are they even going to do with it? Like, Washington's 25th in the MLB in the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitching, and that 25th ranking, it's about as high as they've been all season. They've been bottom six or seven in all OPS numbers for basically the entire season. And to add a little more icing to the cake, the Nationals bullpen has also sucked. So even if you're like, okay, I like Fetty, yeah, when you get to the bullpen, the Cardinals bullpen is better than the Nationals bullpen. So yeah, I have no problem laying the runs, laying the juice with the Cardinals here.
I also think, really quickly, that we're getting a decent price because Fetty has pitched well at home, but his last 3 starts, Seattle, Miami, Pittsburgh, not teams that you really fear a ton on the road. Maybe Seattle a little bit, but not really like that. So, yeah, I think it's a short number for a really good Cardinals team.
Cool. Next game, Twins at Padres. I'll go first here because you just went first. Let me just delete the picks. So I went. Oh, let me get my notes. I went the complete opposite way here. Let me get the sheet open. All right. In my opinion, I don't think Sonny Gray has shown us enough for us to put our money on him going on the road and beating a good team and shutting down a good lineup. Not that I think the Padres lineup is elite right now, but it's top half of the MLB, and I don't think I could back Sonny Gray in doing that. If you scroll through Sonny Gray's game logs, yeah, you'll find some decent road starts. He shut down Detroit, shut down the Tigers in Detroit. Okay, I mean, so does everyone. He in late June, he shut down the Guardians in Cleveland. But if you remember, that was right in the middle of the Guardians' batting slump, where they scored like 6 runs in a 2-week span. They were horrible. And then there was one more. He did pitch a good game in Seattle back in like early June, I think it was, or maybe late May. That was a while ago, but that's really the like premier road start on his resume this year. I think the Padres get to him. Meanwhile, Joe Musgrove pitching. He's been solid as a rock at home all season. And this was the most surprising part. So I'll put my bet down so you know where I'm going with this. I took San Diego first 5 minus a half run at plus 105, and I'm putting a full unit on it. I'm really confident with this one here. This was the kicker for me because, you know, when you cap a game, you have like an idea of where teams are ranked in certain things. And in my brain, I had the Minnesota Twins lineup ranked significantly above the Padres lineup. But when you look at the OPS numbers, and we're just looking at the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitchers, the Padres actually have better OPS numbers than the Twins. And that surprised the hell out of me. So that really put the icing on the cake. That really was like, okay, I got to bet the Padres, at least in the first 5 at home here. So the Twins the Twins bullpen has been much better than the Padres bullpen, which is why I'm sticking to the first 5. I'm taking the bullpen out of it. Padres first 5 on the run line. Where are you at, Toast?
Same exact bet. I don't know how you not back Joe Musgrove at home. He has one bad start against the Phillies, and then if everything else you look at is a bunch of zeros, which for a pitcher is very good. I tried to be sharp and play the Twins yesterday, and they got destroyed. The Padres are a streaky team right now, and they're really excited and really exciting to watch play. I'm all over them today. It's really hard to fade Musgrove at home right now.
Originally, I had 0.75 on this and 0.75 on the Padres money line, but those Padres bullpen numbers are terrifying. They are really scary.
I won't lie. I had first 5 money line on there, but I couldn't let you have that plus money and not me have it. So
yes. Yeah, I want that plus 105. All right, let's cruise on to the next one. Yo, we're cruising today. See what happens when we don't have Beaver to hold us back? All right. Next game is Arizona at Atlanta. You can start this one off.
Again, don't really love laying runs with Atlanta. I'm going to do Atlanta Mets moneyline parlay at plus 120 for a half a unit as well. Again, I think that it's just really hard for me to get behind Arizona right now. I don't really want to go too much into it because it's just a parlay for me, and I know you have a play on Arizona. But Ian Anderson over Caleb Martin. I mean, obviously it's minus 235 for a reason, but I just don't see Atlanta losing this game, especially with Ian Anderson coming off of a horrible start the last time he pitched at home against LA. I would expect him to bounce back against a not as talented Arizona lineup, but we'll see.
All right, well, Toast is correct. I do have a play on Arizona. I actually have two of them. And I'll put them up first before I start yapping. So I'm on Arizona run line. That's at minus 105. Put a half unit on that. And Arizona first five plus a half run. Just a half unit on that. I'm not going crazy on these. I wouldn't say I love these bets. But I do think the numbers point here. This is purely a fade of Ian Anderson. I really don't think this guy is very good. I know that early in July he went on a nice little hot streak. He had I think 3 good starts in a row to start this month. But dude just got lit the hell up. By the Angels, mind you. 8 hits, 7 earned runs, and 3 walks in just 3 innings pitched against the LA Angels. You just can't let that happen if you want to be a big league pitcher. The Angels suck. Look at that game also where the Angels lit him up. That game was at home in Atlanta, and it gets deeper because his numbers on the whole season at home in Atlanta are also just as terrible. This dude's got a 6.43 ERA at home on the whole season. This isn't just a cold streak. This dude's been getting rocked at home all year. Yes, I understand that Arizona's starting a guy named Corbin Martin, who doesn't have much MLB experience, and I know there's a chance that the Braves rock this guy, but we got a righty-righty matchup here. This isn't the Madison Bumgarner from yesterday. Arizona's got a righty on the mound, and if you look at the OPS numbers against right-handed pitching, in the last 2 weeks, Arizona's 11th, Atlanta's 21st. So if we're going righty-righty matchup here, Arizona's got the hotter bats. So I really think this is a solid bet here. Just a half unit each, ride with Arizona on the road coming off a loss.
That's plus 120, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I have. Oh, your parlay. Okay. And how much did you want to bet on it?
Just a half a unit.
Okay. There we go.
Those Anderson numbers are really hard to look at. I mean, you kind of have to go back to because, yeah, I mean, bad against LA, but then against St. Louis and the Nationals, he pitched really well, and then so-so against the Dodgers. It's just he's very hard to handicap.
Yeah, I agree. And let's cruise on to the next game. Delete these picks off the screen. I'm gonna have to set up templates for 2 people, so I don't have to do that every time. It's just usually we have 3, so I don't have to. Next up, Dodgers at Rockies, and I'll go first here. I'm playing the Rocks. Not only am I playing the Rockies, but I'm taking a decent-sized swing on them here. I'm taking the money line instead of the run line. Half unit on each. When I said decent-sized swing, I wasn't referring to the size of the bet. I was referring to the size of the odds. I'm on the Colorado first 5 plus a half run, and Colorado money line at plus 195 for a half unit each. I really liked that late, almost 9th inning comeback by the Rockies last night. I think that's a good indication of what's to come. I think they carry some of that momentum into this game today. Kyle Freeland beat Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers pretty recently, 1 month ago on June 28th at Coors Field. I think the exact same thing happens today. You got the Dodgers. They won the first 2 games of this series. So the Dodgers heading into the series in Colorado, they were not taking the Rockies lightly, right? Because they had already lost a series at Coors Field. So that's why I was on the Dodgers run line in that first game heavy, and I bet the Dodgers last night. But now, they take the first two games of the series. I think this team has overcome the chip on the shoulder they had about Coors Field, and I think you might catch this team peaking at that 4-game series against San Francisco that's about to start. I think we could see a flat Dodgers lineup tonight. Not to mention Rockies at home against a lefty starter. One of my favorite spots to bet. Yes, I've been fading it the last 2 times, but it is one of my favorite spots to bet. So give me the Rockies 2 ways. Toast?
So I'm actually going to go the over 11.5 at plus 100 for a half a unit. And then I'm actually going to get on board with you bet steal in memory of Beaver, the Rockies money line for a half a unit. If you just look at Clayton Kershaw's numbers the last couple of times he went to Colorado, 4 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 2/3, 10 hits, 5 runs. I mean, that was this year and last year. It's just really hard for me. I mean, I can't play the Dodgers, not at that price. I understand how well Clayton Kershaw has looked lately, but he didn't look good against Colorado. That's all I know. So, and he hasn't lately. So, yeah, only way to play. I feel like we see some runs today. The only reason it's only going to be a half a unit for me is that if you take a look at the series history between these two teams, there's not a lot of games that go over 11.5. There's a lot of games where Kershaw gives up 6 runs, but that if you look at the game logs, they don't go over 11.5. But trying to change the momentum here today, I guess. I don't know.
I know, Toast, I know you're a weather guy. That's why I put this comment up. Dude saying it's hot as hell today in Colorado.
I saw, yeah.
That would mean more runs, right?
Yeah.
Not better weather equals more runs in baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
You're looking at plus 11% home runs, plus 13%. It's the humidity that's nice. You got a high temperature and a low humidity, which means the ball flies a lot better.
Jaden Williams, the guy who's always in the comments, he likes Colorado team total over, so he's right there with you. Next game is Cubs at Giants. And I'll go first because I'm doing it again. I'm riding this Cubs team again. I've bet them both games of this series. I lost the first, won the second. I think me and Toast have been on opposite sides every game of this series. We each have won once. So I guess this will be the grudge. Actually, this is a 4-game series, so this won't be the actual grudge match. We still have one more. But I'm on the Cubs here. They're giving us the Cubbies at plus money here again, and I'm gonna play them at plus money again. I know that Drew Smiley's on the mound, and yes, he is a lefty. The Giants did have some good numbers against left-handed pitching, but that was about 3 weeks ago. They have not been hitting lefties too well recently. In the past 2 weeks, they dropped all the way down to 18th in Major League Baseball in OPS against lefties. Not that the Cubs bats are doing anything special either, though. Full disclosure, the Cubs bats aren't really doing much of anything, but they're 6-1 since the All-Star break. And it's a combination of pitching and defense. Ready for this? The Cubs bullpen in the past 2 weeks has an ERA of 0.94. This bullpen is hot right now. Yeah, like I said, Cubs 6-1 since the All-Star break. You ready for this? The 7 games the Cubs have played since the All-Star break, here are the runs they allowed. 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 4, 2. In the past 7 games, the Cubs are allowing just 2.4 runs a game. Just not letting up runs. And it's not like the Giants lineup scares anybody. So I'm back on the Cubs again. Money line plus 120.75 units.
Yeah. It's
oh, wait, hold on. Someone's saying, you might have even known this already. Someone's saying, no Jock Peterson, no Crawford, no Longoria. I like it even more then. Well, no Crawford. Well, Crawford's been out, hasn't he?
Crawford's been out, and I knew about Peterson because he doesn't have, or he's got a concussion.
Hold on,
it should be the same lineup as it should be the same lineup as last night with like La Stella, Flores, Belt, Yaz.
No Belt.
No Belt.
Right, Roto Grinders has no Belt.
I guess
sucks. This game sucks.
Give me the under 8 for a half a unit at minus 105. Junis, I really wanted to back Junis. I just can't back the Cubs right now, or the Giants right now. I mean, take a look at what Jacob Junis has done. 4 innings against the Diamondbacks, 1 run. 5 innings against the Dodgers, 2 runs. 6 against the Fish, 1 run. 4 against the Phillies, 1 run. I mean, 6 against the Mets, 2 runs. This guy just really doesn't give up runs. And obviously, Sauce just alluded to what the Cubs bullpen's been doing. Matter of fact, bump that up to 0.75 units after I used all your notes too. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
Cool. Overtime, I know you just said you're in New Jersey, so to answer your question, yeah, MGM's fine. If you're looking for one more, I would say MGM, DraftKings, or Caesars. Because I use those two, FanDuel, Sugar House, and then I think I have 7 total that I use, but I I use DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars are like my 3 go-tos. It's nice living in New Jersey, isn't it? So many options.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Cubs Giants. Oh, this game. This series is going to be the death of me, man. Rangers at Angels. And I watched from the 3rd inning on. I watched this like entire baseball game with sound on, rooting for the Angels. You know what? It actually was. I don't know if you watched the Toast, but it actually was a close game. They blew it. The Rangers put up like 6 runs in the 8th or 9th inning or something. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this game was 1-1. I think heading into the 8th. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. So my Angels pick wasn't that bad.
No.
I hate this game because I'm taking Texas money line at plus 100, but I hate it. I hate it because I feel like the sports books are telling me who to bet. At this price, with an ice-cold Angels team with Chase Silseth on the mound for them, Glenn Otto has looked okay, not good at all, but definitely not terrible. It's basically the books are like, hey, you're betting the Rangers today. Here's the price. I know you can't resist betting the Rangers. And I hate that. I hate it. But at the same time, I can't bring myself to lay down another Los Angeles Angels bet. Simple as that. I'll put 0.75 units on it. Are you with me on Texas?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not laying juice with the Angels. No way, no how. I actually think that Otto's been pretty decent. He's faced Seattle in back-to-back games, so that's not easy. He faced the Mets, gave up 4 runs against them. Baltimore at Baltimore is not an easy task either. And then the last time he faced LA, he's already faced them once this year in LA. He went 5 innings, only gave up 1 run and struck out 7. So I think that we're getting this type of price because Seager's probably going to be out again today. But like we saw last night, it really doesn't. I don't think it really matters.
0.75 unit, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the last game. Unfortunately, I only have 1 parlay, and it's for the VIP, so I don't have an extra. You know what? I'll build one real quick because I can't close the show without giving out a parlay. Let's go with Boston on DraftKings dropped to plus 100.
Ooh.
I like that. Let's go Red Sox, Mets, and Phillies for plus 408. I'll write it on the screen. Red Sox, Mets. I just did this right on the on live. Built this right on live in front of everyone, so not much went into it.
Somebody just asked me about the Tigers game and the Toronto game. No, we didn't go over that. You didn't miss it. I actually played. We gave that out, didn't we?
Yeah, but it's all right. We both did Toronto minus 1.5.
Yeah. And then if you want to get extra juicy with it, I think that Ross Stripling to record a win at plus 125 is a pretty damn good bet to make as well. So check my Twitter page. I got a couple of props on that game.
The early games we gave out 2 early picks on the app this morning around 10:30 a.m. So if you want the picks, whenever we post picks, if you want them buzzed right to your phone, download the Sauce Network app. It's available on the Apple Store and Google Play. There's also a live update section in the app, so we all can reach each other if there's any live bets. Now, I don't really do many live bets during baseball season. That's more of a basketball and football thing for me. But in that live update section of the app, that buzzes all of our phones. So, I think only me or Toast can buzz all your phones. I don't think you guys can. But still, everyone can post in there. It's like a forum. So it's made for live bets. It's not being used too much right now, but it is there. And I will be getting it going during football season because I do place live bets in the fall and the winter. So, yes, UFC picks are going up. I got to get the MLB VIP picks and parlays and stuff up first. And then UFC will be up probably around 4 p.m. So it'll be there.
And if you guys want a really quick hit parlay, it's 2 spots. It's only plus 100, but you got Reese Hoskins and Kyle Schwarber both to get a hit at plus 100.
Yo, did you see Schwarber last night on that strikeout with that horrible call? I thought he was going to fight the umpire.
There was a couple of them last night that were just ridiculous. A couple of them went in our favor, a couple of them didn't. It was just ridiculous.
I can't believe we need robot umps, bro.
Nah, I don't like that. But.
I know you don't, because you're like old school. What's up, Stimmy? You just missed it. We're done. All right. Thanks everyone for joining. It's Saturday, so we'll let you go. Everyone enjoy your weekend. If you're in the New Jersey area, I think I'm heading over to Monmouth Park to place some bets and get drunk today. Actually, this evening it'll be. So I'll see you there if you're going. Everyone have a lovely weekend. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna do a live tomorrow. By the way, Sundays are tough. So no live tomorrow. We'll have a conference call and then post all the picks on the app. So if you have the app, you'll still get everything. All right. Have a lovely Saturday.